Everyone, welcome to my kitchen. We're back in the kitchen with KK to have more fun creating healthy meals. My name is Kimberly Knox. I am an integrative and functional health coach, getting to the root cause of disease and inspiring people to shift their health through diet and lifestyle. Food makes up such a huge percentage of your health. And as soon as you change your food, you change your health, you change your energy, you change your gut microbiome, your cravings, your genetic expression. You are not your disease. We can start to change tomorrow. So many fun things going on this month to celebrate. And one that I chose to do a video on is National Homemade Soup Day. And that's because homemade soups are simple. You can just put them into a beautiful Dutch oven. And I do inspire you to invest in a good quality. I love the Le Creuset. They've got plenty of outlets. Go get one, invest in it. You will use it. And then you can meal prep, meaning keeping some soup in the freezer so you have it ready to go for your family when you might be a little bit busy, or you just want a light supper. Especially that is especially suggested if you have any kind of gut issues, or you're just trying to, for weight loss, you want to close that window a little early and just have a little light soup before you go to bed. So we're going to be making a soup today. It is from my cookbook. So I'm the creator of the bioenergetic cooking method. You've heard me speak about it. If you've watched my videos, thank you for being here. Bioenergetics is just the study of energy and living systems. So we're looking at how food provides healing information to different systems of the body. This one happens to be in the lung section. Lung is white colored items here. So for the love of Leeks soup, it is a full-bodied, delicious soup. It's going to nourish and support and hydrate your lungs and your body. And I've had men that just love the soup. One lady reported that her husband ate like 4 bowls. He ended up losing like almost 10 pounds in a week, and he was fully on board to get rid of some of the inflammatory ingredients such as gluten and dairy in his lifestyle. So let me just go through what we're going to be putting in. Then I'm going to put on my apron and I'm going to prepare this and be back. So these are leeks. We're going to be using the bottom parts of these leeks. I'll show you how to cut them. This is a turnip. And so we're getting a turnip in here. We're getting in white yam. You can, in the recipe, I have a rutabaga. If you don't have a rutabaga, that's okay. What else am I going to put in at the end? I'm going to actually put in some cauliflower. Perfect for this recipe because we're showcasing white. White is a color for lung health. We're going to be using a sweet or a Vidalia onion. And for the spices, fantastic. The poultry blend is perfect for this because we're using some sage and thyme. And I'm actually going to put rosemary in here as well. I don't have it in the recipe, but I do encourage you to get creative. So very easy to digest. Cannellini beans here, white beans added. These are really great for fiber, for helping with weight control and glucose control, monitoring, stabilizing your blood pressure. Your blood glucose. Also, make sure you have good bay leaves around. So all you need here is a good sharp, thin knife. I like the Santuco. You've heard me talk about this for all the prep work, and you need a good peeler. So let's get to work here. I've got my little burner here so you can watch. And soups are just really, really fun. So National Homemade Soup Day was February the 4th. And there's so many national holidays this month that I'm going to pick a few fun ones to do. I think the next one I'm going to do is snacks, because snacks is where people get into huge trouble, especially parents with children. And anyone who's eating after 7 o'clock, it's usually destroying that ability of the body to go into fat burning mode. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel up these. I'm going to get these ready to cut. I'm going to show you how I would do it. I'm going to peel up the turnip. And with the leeks, we're going to cut the top off here and just the bottom, and we're going to slice these real thin. And so this is already heating. And we will be right back with some things prepped up and getting up my prep bowls, which you know that I really inspire you to get. You can look for those on Winco, is a good company, but all the stuff you can get on Amazon, of course. So we will be right back. Thanks for tuning in today. Okay, let's get a little demo in. I've already done some of these. Of course, I already had the cauliflower prepped up in the refrigerator. Cauliflower lasts for a while. So if you're making something, prep up some more, put it in a little baggie, and it will serve you later. We're getting the onion in there first. So the little sweet onions. Sweet onions are usually not big and round. They have a flat top and bottom. So I've just cut off both ends. What I like to do for the soup is I like to get little sections like this because it looks pretty in a soup. Unless you're going to be doing an immersion blender, then you can chop it. So what I like to do is cut it in half and then do little slices like this. When you're using your long, slim knife, it just helps you to relax. As you're watching, you're concentrating. You're listening to nice little music in the background like we are. Hopefully it's not too loud. And then, as you've seen me say, everyone needs a board scraper. Board scrapers make your life easy. They keep your workspace board nice and neat, and they free you up from trying to use your knife. Okay, so first things first, let's get this in here. This pan has been heating. Oh, I gotta get the oil. So let me get my avocado oil. I'm using Primal Kitchen. This and Chosen Foods are the two that I select the most often. And when they're on sale, I buy an extra. You can get it at Thrive Market. You can get it at Whole Foods. You can get this at Fresh Market. You can get it other places. But the pure avocado oil takes a nice high heat. If you're just doing this at a little lower heat, you could use avocado olive oil here. But I like to keep my really high quality olive oil just to make dressings raw, not heated. So we're going to get the onions in there. Woo! And got a little splatter. So we're going to get the onions to turn a bit translucent. How to get a piece of turnip in here? Hold on. Oh no, that's a white yam. Okay, so these are going to get a little bit translucent. Now for the turnips, so the turnips I've just peeled, cut them in half, and then I cut them into just like this. So just an easy way is you can take all the center pieces and just stack them up like logs. Here's an M piece. And then you can just cut them this way. This saves your prep time. So you're just cutting, and this is a homemade recipe. So things, try to get them equidistant, but I mean equal size, but they don't have to be perfect. These are the M pieces here. Get those together. So the more you learn prep, you're going to learn little ways to make things easy. But when you are cutting, a flat side of what you're cutting helps stabilize it so it's not rolling. This can help you to cut yourself by accident, which you don't want to do. So this is a long, skinny yam. They're all different sizes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this in half. See, we're going to put the flat side down. Now we can cut it really easily. That way it's more stable. So I'm choosing to cut them like this, and then we're going to cut them again. So you just stack them up, well, like this. You'll learn easy ways for yourself, but this is pretty much a super easy way to cut a lot, not hurt your wrist. So you can either cut them in half first. Fantastic. Stack them back up, cut them in half. So now you've got all of your prepped veggies. And we're just getting the onions to be translucent for a bit here. Let's turn it up. The spices that we're going to be adding, we'll get those chopped up. This is fresh from the farmer's market, this rosemary, fantastic. So the sage and the rosemary and the thyme make this really fantastic. Really, really great, really delicious, full-bodied herbs. Herbs are your flavor. That's where we're getting our flavor. We don't have much thyme in here, but I'm going to use all of it. And yeah, so you can just get one of these containers of the poultry. Now you don't want to get too much sage, just enough. The recipe I call for, let's see, about 2 tablespoons. If you're using dried sage, you're going to use less. Here, let's get off the ends. So sage, and if you've ever burned sage, it's very fragrant, ceremonial herb. When I was in South Dakota, it was growing in the lawn. It was fantastic. So obviously, that's where the Indians got it. If you do sage smudging. So this is a good amount of sage. You can use a chef's knife or the same knife that you've been using here to prep with. So let's get the herbs into there. I'll use these. We'll use up these. So I usually just back the rosemary right off the stem. Backwards, it grows up. And then just make a pile of it, and you can use your knife to rough chop it. Perfect. So this is seasoning up here. It looks great, smells great. We'll put it down just a tiny bit. It's always that smell of onions, right, that gets people. Everyone comes running, whoa, it smells great. That's why at the events when you smell the sausage and onion, not that sausage is great for you, obviously, but the smell that people come running for. All right, thyme. This is what real thyme looks like. If you don't have enough in here, you could always add some more. Again, I just like to back it off the stem. That just helps you with the prep here. This is part of the fun. And you really get to smell. Thyme is highly antibacterial. You can make thyme tea, by the way. Very good for your immune system, also for helping to keep pathogens at bay inside of the body. You know that we have lots of critters in there, not just viruses, bacteria, parasites, we got them all. So we need to keep them at bay. And these herbs like garlic, oregano, thyme, they're all sisters, assisting us in keeping. Okay, we've got a nice pile of herbs there. If we decide to add more, I'll get out dried herbs. Now, these are the leeks. I've cut off the top. You can see these are so adorable. Then you cut the bottoms off. Obviously, it's more tender toward the bottom where it's white. And you're just going to cut these into slices, not too thick, not too thin. Now, I'll get you show you what they do look like here. So just be careful toward the end. You want to look and see, sometimes there can be like a little dirt in so they all come apart like this. It's really, really cool. Leeks are amazing. So it's from the onion family. So they're going to have that same sulfur, the allium, that plant component that helps the liver create glutathione, clean up, antibacterial. So this cuts very easy on the white side here, but a long slim knife is really helpful. It gets a little tougher as you get up the stream, but then just watch it at the end. Don't cut your fingers. Everything is prepped here. That's why these bowls are genius. It keeps you really organized. It keeps you feeling really in control. We're going to add the white yams. We're going to add in the turnip. If I had the rutabaga, I'd add that now too. I'm not going to add the cauliflower because it's much softer. We'll add that later once we get the broth in there. I'm going to put the cover on and I'm going to let these soften for a little bit and tidy up, and we'll be right back to get this going. So these have gotten softened a little bit. So we're going to they're flying away here. We're gonna put a little Himalayan sea salt on them. We're gonna add in the leeks. This is some rough cut garlic. I do like my garlic, so it's about 6 cloves, rough cut. We're gonna get the herbs in there, the bay leaf and all the herbs we just cut up, the sage, the thyme, and the rosemary. While those are getting softened, we're going to open up the cannellini beans. If you've seen me cook with beans before, you know I do like the Edam brand. Dr. Gundry has always talked well of that brand. They're properly pressure cooked. They're done in seaweed, so you're going to get a little extra proper iodine. We're going to strain these, and then we're going to be adding them. You can actually keep that juice right there and make an alternative to mayonnaise, as vegans do. Here, need to have a little knife to get underneath the lid. So this is the broth that I select, the bona fide, very clean. I get it without the salt added because I like to add my own. I'm not sure what they're using. If I add it, I'll add the Himalayan pink sea salt or a really good Celtic sea salt. And I like to control it instead of having 400 or 300 milligrams of salt added to it. So, perfect timing. These are getting really fragrant, and that's what we want. We want it to all get a bit fragrant before we're adding in. We need 4 cups of the broth. So one of these large containers is 4 cups. Here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let it come get warmed up. Then I'm let this soften. Then I'm going to add the beans. The beans don't need to cook quite as long as some of the harder veggies in here. So cover goes on. We will be back after it's boiled and simmered for a few minutes. Thanks for tuning in. So everything is tidied up. This has been simmering for 15 minutes, and that's all it needs. Now we're going to be adding in the cauliflower. And I'm adding the cauliflower because I didn't have the rutabaga, but if you decide to add cauliflower, it's perfect for this recipe because it's all about white. Now we're adding in the white kidney beans, cannellini beans. And we're going to be simmering it for another 10 minutes. And then this is done, and you finish it with some fresh squeezed lemon. So we will be back. This is so fragrant, really delicious, really filling with all these beautiful flavors and the beans. So we'll get right back here in 10 minutes, and then your soup is done, and you've got a delicious dinner waiting, and you can put some in the freezer or the refrigerator for another time. Okay, it is simmered for the last 10 minutes and your soup is done. It's super fragrant. So for the love of leek soup, I highly recommend it. And you can actually get a hard copy of my book, order it online, or I have an ebook right on Amazon, but Amazon can't carry my book because of the way it was created and self-published. So right here, fantastic. Let's get this into a nice soup bowl. I like to finish it. This is gorgeous. It's gonna be so amazing. I like to finish it with some fresh rosemary. I'll put some in here too. That's one thing that's great about herbs. When you have them available, it's great to get some that are raw and not cooked. You're gonna get really powerful. Oh, I almost forgot to finish it with the at least a half of a lemon squeeze. You want 2 tablespoons, depending on the size of the lemon. I'm going to do squeeze both. This is a great lemon squeezer here. Add some to here. Perfecto. And that little bit of lemon gives it a little bit of tang. Phenomenal. I wish you could smell this. It's amazing. Thanks for being with me today. So we're celebrating National Home Cooked Soup Month. I really recommend you learn some soups and get them for meal prep. They're super easy. Get the family involved. It's also National Family Home Cooking Month as well. Fantastic. So thanks for tuning in today with Kimberly Knox in my kitchen. See you all later. Until next time.